Hey, good morning, everyone. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So, once again, welcome back to Microsoft Azure event. Yes, Fazil, we are about to start. So, we were waiting the few more members to join. So, there was some technical issue happened in the morning for joining. That's the reason we took 5 minutes extra for giving a time to people to join. So, good morning, everyone. I hope the audio has been crystal clear and you are able to see my whiteboard. So good morning, clear. Thank you, Fazil, for confirming. Yeah. Now let's start the session. So yeah, whiteboard is not shared. I'm about to share. So I just about to share that. So last day's session was is about the energy part, right? So we were trying to understand it's like how a virtual machine can be configured on in a Microsoft side and how the security can be provided or it's been configured in the ISAS VM. So this is the topic we were trying to understand yesterday. Now, a couple of points we have discussed yesterday. The first point was it's been like NSG is acting like a kind of internal firewall. With the help of that, you are able to do all kind of resource management, or you will be able to do all kind of the traffic management, right? So we understood in case if you are using a Microsoft Azure, the traffic management can be done with the help of the network traffic management can be done with the help of two options. One, it's been like you have a NSGs in place, you have a firewall is in place. So we are trying to understand about a concept called NSG. NSG stands for Network Security Group. So what is the purpose of this? Once you have implemented a VM in a Microsoft Azure cloud, this VM needs to be used, or this VM is going to communicate with different resources, right? So this is going to this be going to connect with the resources which is been available in the external network. You may be knowing like this has been basically you will have a basically you'll have this VM is being connecting to internet. All right, you have a VM is been connecting to internet. There's the one scenario. Or another scenario, it's been like this VM is been going to communicate with the other VM within the same network, right? You may be having another VM in the same region or in a network. So this may be going to connect with this another VMs which is been available in the network. So this is the second scenario. So the second scenario, it's been like there is a chance of connecting to the uh, Fazil, Razif, I hope you can able to see my whiteboard, right? No whiteboard. Okay. I think it's well. Can everyone confirm you're able to see my whiteboard? Yeah, thank you. So maybe that message is been updated before I'm sharing this. Yeah, thank you, team. So I'm trying right now. We are discussing about a scenario. We have implemented a VM inside Microsoft Cloud. All of us know if you're using any resource, or resource can be a firewall, or it can be VM, or it can be storage, or it can be any component. Technically, if I need to use this one, this needs to be communicate to each other with the help of a networking, right? Because basically all these solutions we are providing, or it's been configuring for making a data exchange. So this data exchange can be between two VM to VM. So this is the one scenario, like this VM may be going to communicate with another VM internally, or this VM may be going to communicate with another VM which is being configured in another data center or another geography, or this VM may be going to try to access some website in the internet also. So, or this kind of a scenario, it's been coming on in your in front of your table. Now, if you're taking a large or a complex infrastructure, as a system administrator or as a cloud architect or a hybrid administrator, it's your responsibility to ensure that the VM which currently you are using needs to be properly managed. And that means you may be properly managing the traffic. What is the type of the protocol it can enter into your system? What are the type of the application or protocol can go from your system? This needs to be controlled and this needs to be monitored also. Now, if you're taking a Azure infrastructure, the traffic or the network traffic management generally done in a two level. As I said, you can able to use a Microsoft Azure firewall. This basically will be placed in the perimeter. You will have a firewall will be available. You will have a firewall will be configured. Generally, if a firewall is been attached or it's been configured along with your virtual network, it's basically each VNet will be attached with a firewall. Now, when it is coming inside, if the any packet is been coming inside a firewall, and if it is compromised and is been entered inside that, again another level of verification or filtering is being done with the help of NSG. So NSG is typically, if you can able to see, this is being configured against the subnet and it's being configured against the VNIC. So both the level, this configuration or validation is been doing. Now let's try to understand how practically this has been implementing here. Now I'm just giving a scenario. I'm just giving a scenario first, then I'll uh, give a detailed discussion about this one. Now let's take a scenario. You are in a customer place. Right now, end of this class, you need to understand NSG stands for Network Security Group. This allow or this will configure the filtering of your network traffic, which has been coming from to and fro from your Azure resource. That's the first point you need to remember. Now, how this has been generally, it's been configured based on the whatever rules you are manually defining. Now, as I said, NSG is a resource group. It's a free resource group. Now, how this has been working? This is based on how manually you are defining as a system administrator or as a cloud administrator. It's your responsibility to ensure that you are defining a security rule. So the rule generally known as, it's called a security rule, because this is like a kind of internal firewall inside your virtual network, and just right before your resource, this configuration is being doing. It's NSG is a separate resource. So there's a few points you can note down. I'm just pasting on in a chat. So hope this information will be helpful for you. And just paste, let me type it and paste it on the chat window. So this will be help you to bookmark it or can able to do. So as I said, I just typed a few writings on the chat window. This you can copy paste. So as I said, it's an internal firewall which is been using inside the virtual network and just right before your resource. Second one, it's been like it's a separate resource. If you go to Microsoft portal, let me take you into your Microsoft portal now. I'm just connecting. Just give me a second. I've been connected before starting this event, and it looked like by mistake I've been closed that window, so I need to reconnect it back. Give me a second. This hardly it will take a minute. One second, I just given the username and password, and it's prompting for a OTP. So let's wait for an OTP to get. Yes, so right now I've been connected to portal. Now I'm taking to the Microsoft Azure portal. I hope you can able to see the Microsoft portal window right away. You can able to see the portal window. Now, as I said, this network security group is a kind of a internal firewall. Now, this can be able to select it from the marketplace, or you can just go directly on the search bar, and there you can type a command called network security group. So right now, this has been pointing to a NSG. By default, you need to remember whenever you are creating a VM, By default, there is a energy has been created and attached to the VM. So what I'm trying to say is like right now we have been created a VM. You can able to see there is a VM has been created. So that's called VM1. Now, if you're taking this VM, the moment when you give this create and um, you given the username and password and you've been provisioned, by default, there is a NSG is been created automatically because we need to do a network filtering, right? By default, if you are seeing this old resource, you may be able to see there is a network security group is automatically it's been created where it's been created and attached to the particular VM. Right now you can be able to see here. Now, in case if you want to create separately, you don't to worry about that. You need to go to the network security group and here you can able to create it here. For example, like internal firewall kind of things, if you want to configure, you can able to configure it here. For example, like I'm saying that hey, this rule is been for the particular resource group. This is the rule for website blocking. You can just able to give this one and which data center this needs to be created. I can able to create it here also. So what we are trying to understand it here, network security group is been generally acting like an internal firewall. With the help of that, you will be able to configure or you will be able to, this is a, there is some policy have been configured here. That the reason this is, I have been configured some policies here. That the reason leading to create it. Okay, let's create another source code. There is a Azure policy have been configured for self-study, so that the reason it's been permitting for creation. I have created a policy saying that in that resource group, I'm not allowed to create any network components. So that the reason that error message was getting. I'll come to that topic in the later point. Right now, I have created a network security group separately. So end of this session or end of this event, you need to understand network security group. It's a kind of internal firewall. You may be able to see there's a service is been available here. This how this has been working. It's basically working based on the inbound rule or a outbound rule. Basically, basically it's been working based on how manually you are giving the security rule because it's not an intelligent mechanism. There is no intelligent mechanism here. As a system administrator or as a cloud administrator, you need to define what is the type of the IP address or what are the application to be allowed inside your subnet or inside your VM. This needs to be manually, we need to provide it here. Now, people may be getting a question here. In case I'm providing this information to a network security group, how my VM will take, how my subnet will take it. So as I said, once you created this rule, right now you can able to see there is a network security rule is being created here. You can able to see there is a group is being created. So this is something like a access control list kind of thing, right? In your Cisco or it's in, if you maybe worked in any firewall product, we may be creating ACL kind of thing, right? Similar or the same kind of a similar kind of a concept is been using here also. Like right now we have a network security group is being created. Once this has been created, this rule or this set of rule, you need to attach either into a internal uh, VNIC or the VM, or you need to assign to the subnet. So this needs to be assigned to the. Now Manjula is asking a question on the chat. Internal firewall do means that particular VM is giving this rule as internal firewall, not inside the VM. It's basically Manjula. This has been blocking the VNIC level. You have if you're taking a VM, um, it's basically connecting or it's been validating or in the VNIC level, not in the internal operating system. I'm just giving a scenario here. Right now we understood like NSG is a kind of a network security rule or it's a set of firewall it's been working. I'm just giving a scenario like you are installed a Manjula if you're, I'm just giving a same scenario. You have configured a VM. This is your VM. Inside that you have an operating system. Inside, you may be having a Windows firewall or internal firewall or a semantic or any antivirus rule may be available. Leave that portion. Now, if you're taking this VM will have a VNIC will be configured, right? I hope all are agreeing with this point, right? If you're agreeing, can you comment it on the chat? By default, there will be one VNIC or network interface card is been by default it's been configured. You are agreeing with this point, right? Manjula is saying yes. What about the rest of the members? You hope you are comfortable or you are knowing this topic, right? There is a by default, there is a VNIC has been assigned to a VM. I hope if you're agreeing, can you just comment it on the chat window? Stephen also, it's been commented. Yes, Stephen also knowing that there is a VNIC has been configured. Let's wait for the rest of the members also. Okay, few people has been commented. So at least most of the members understood there is a network interface card has been available or it's been configured. So that basically it's a physical, not a physical one. It's a virtual network interface card. Now, this virtual network interface card, where this has been attached, any idea? Because by default, virtual network interface card will be attached to a VNet. Inside a VNet, again, classification, you may be using a concept called subnet. So always the VNet or the VNet will be attached with a subnet only. This has been clear to you. For example, the moment when you are configuring Azure, like you are giving a 10.0.16, this is the large pool of IP address you are assigning. And again, you are doing a slicing like a 10.0.0/24. So this client or this VM will be attached to a VNIC. This VNIC will be attached to a subnet. From there, this generally this getting an IP address like 10.0.0.4. So this client is getting an IP address from this subnet. This subnet is getting an IP address from VNIC. This is the way generally the IP has been provisioning. If you're clear about this, can you comment it on the chat window? So ensure that we both are on the same page to ensure that uh, at least you got this concept clear. We are working on a NSG, but for understanding NSG, you need to understand how generally the IP address is been assigned to VM. This portion is being clear to everyone. So Saiful is saying like, please repeat. Okay. Okay. So Samantha is asking, is the NACs attached to VNet or a VM? Samantha, this VNIC is been attached into a VM only, and this VNIC has been attached to a VNet also. Because I'm just giving Samantha an example, like you are in a on-premises or existing network. In your office, you are going with your laptop into your office. For example, like this, your laptop. Now your laptop is having a Ethernet card where you are connecting the RJ45 cable, or you may be connecting through a Wi-Fi access point, right? Right, Samantha? If you can comment it on the chat. In your laptop, you may be RJ45 port where you are connecting the RJ45 cable, right? When you go to an office or in your college, you are connecting the RJ45 cable. Other end, it's maybe connecting to IO port, right? You may be having IO port has been available. You may be the cable will be connected to the IO port. So you have IO. So the moment when you connect IO port, what generally is happening? You will be getting an IP address assigned from your DHCP server, right? Generally, you will be automatically, you'll be getting some IP address. So because of that, you are able to communicate to the entire network. Clear? Some of the, if you're agreeing with this or rest of the members, if you're clear about this existing traditional legacy connect. Yes, thank you. Yes. Now, in that situation, is this VNet is been a part of a VNet or it's your laptop? Your VNet Ethernet card has been part of your laptop, but the time it's been virtually connected to a VNet or a network which has been available in your organization. From that IP pool, your laptop is getting an IP address. Similar way, if you're configuring a VM inside a Microsoft Azure, now VM is been configured. Now, if I need to communicate to each other, I need to have some kind of a communication port to be available, right? So that's the reason Right now I cannot connect a physical network card here, right? If you're connecting your laptop, you have a cable is available, you have a Wi-Fi access point is available. That's the reason you've been assigned with a um, uh, SSID and you're connecting. Now you have a VM is available. Now this VM want to communicate to this VM. I cannot go and connect with using a cross cable or a straight cable, right? This may be in a East US data center. This may be in a Switzerland, right? I cannot ask my boss, I need to connect my two VM. Give me one 500-meter RJ45 cable. It's not possible, right? Because this how generally it's been done. This basically done. You will be creating a concept of called VNIC. I think few people I can see there is a some confusion is going around the VNIC part. Don't worry. Now let me take you into Azure portal, simple way. Don't worry about that. I'll try to ensure that this doubt is got clarified. Now let me delete all these VMs right away. Okay. I know few people can see there's a some question is going around the VNIC. I don't want you guys to get confused. Let's give me a 2 minutes. Let me delete this network. Okay. So I can clarify this one. So there's already some resource group and policies been created. So let me delete that. So this will be easy for you to understand that. Okay. So deletion is in progress. So we need to wait a minute. So taking time. It's almost in a progress state. I can see it's been in the notification area. Deletion is been initiated and it's going good. So hope it will take another 30 seconds. So the topic right away we are discussing about NSG and in between got some confusion about the NAC part. Okay, so let's Right now you can able to see one resource group is got deleted. Okay, it's almost in a deletion stage. Maybe this policy has been delete this assignment. Okay, I think this policy has been preventing for. Okay, I think this policy has been. Okay. Yes, you can able to see the resource group also. It's taking time. No problem. We'll do one thing. Let's create another resource group. It's called finance one. So we are trying to create a. Now I'm trying to create a resource group. Okay. Resource group name. Let's give it's called finance. So finance is the resource group giving. I'm trying to create this is in a country called Central India. Let's create it in a Central India. Central US, Central India. I just created this group is in a Central India. I just reviewed and created one resource group. Let's create a resource group then. Okay. Now I'm going to create a virtual network inside that resource group. Right now, this resource group creation also seems it's in a progress state. No, it's been completed. Let's refresh it. You may be able to see this. Right now we are inside a virtual network. We are trying to create a virtual network inside that particular resource group. Okay, let's try to create. I created a network for finance network. Finance network. I just given a name finance network. I've been created. IP address is 10.0.1. Series has been given. I've been reviewed and created. Right now, virtual network has been created. Now, if you can go back, regarding there's a Angel is asking like question through the regarding the on a backup of a VM or the whole resource including industry. Are you going to discuss here or is it included on? We'll be covering about update and backup possible in the last day of the session. So we have a separate session for that, Angel. I'll try to cover it, that topic, how to take a backup and how system updates or the system updates can be done. So we'll try to do that. Now let me take you into the whiteboard. So someone that's answering to a question. Yeah, right now you may be observed. Right now, what is the actions we have done? We have created a resource group in the a resource group with a finance resource we have created. Where this has been created? This has been created in the Central India. I hope this point has been clear. Now, Central India, I have been attached a VNet code finance network. This is a VNet has been created. What is the IP address I'm using? I'm using a pool of 10.1. 0.0.60. Now, what is the next action we are going to do? We are going to create a VM and attaching to this particular resource group. So technically, what is happening? Technically, this VM will be created. Now, along with the creation, there will be a one virtual network interface card will be created. Let's see that. I'm taking you back to the same portal. You can able to see this portal is been showing a virtual network which has been currently created in the central India. You can able to see on the screen we are inside a virtual network is showing that. Here Robin, we have created a finance network and the resource group is been map is called finance and this location is been showing as a central India. I hope so far it's been good and you are able to follow, right? If you're good, can you comment it on the chat? So at least I can ensure we both are on the same page and sing also. Samantha and rest of the members, if you can put us some at least one comment on the chat, so I can ensure that you are able to understand this topic and is not confused also. Because in case if there is any confusion, this all out throughout the sessions you may be facing issues. So that's the reason we need to ensure that whatever topics we are being covered, it's been concrete, clear, and crystal clear to you. Yes. So thank you. Few people has been commented. I hope the rest of the members also will help us to post it on the chat window. So thank you, Angel, Pradeep, Stephen, Tanusha. Yeah, I remember. I think the silence is a positive answer. So because many people has been not commented, no problem. Right now it's been like we are inside a virtual network. So you have seen like there is a virtual network has been created here, and there is a resource group also. It's been available. That's called a finance. The old resource group HR is already got deleted also. Now let me try to create a VM. I'm trying to create a VM here. I have created and selected the option called virtual machine. In the virtual machine, I have selected an option called this VM is going to be part of a logical container finance. This option I've been selected saying that this when after creation of the VM, all the components or a metadata related to this finance VM needs to be placed inside a container called resource group. For example, like I've been given a name, it's called VM1. Now, rest all it's been already your master. You already know how to create that. For example, like I've been creator. No, I don't need any availability set. I just said like I need a Windows Server data center version. So pricing is been given. I given a username and password. TRG admin password is given. Okay. Now password as by mistake I've given the second password is wrong. Now in the virtual network tab, you can able to see where this has been attached, Samantha. You can able to see you have an option to create a new network or similar like your laptop or a desktop. This VM is been going to be part of that finance network. Now what is the technically uh, in a reality your VM is going to get an IP from this port, right? What is that port is given here? 10.1.0.0. So if you're calculating this, almost 256 host IP address has been reserved under this subnet. Okay, so from there, one IP address will be assigned to that. We'll see that. I'm just creating a create. Let's it will take an 1 to 2 minutes. Right now, this VM deployment is in a progress state, and right now on the deployment details or a status page on the right now, you can able to see a couple of initiative is going on the backend. You may be able to see it's been created a VM, NSG has been attached, a couple of actions has been going on the backend. We need to wait a minute. Generally, it will take a 1 to 2 minutes is the standard time generally you can see for a VM provisioning. So let's wait that. Right now, we are got a message in the notification area saying that there is a deployment is been completed. Now, team, if you go to this virtual machine tab, you may be seeing like there is a virtual machine is been created. Now, if you go to all resources, Samantha, you may be able to see there is an option it's been showing here, like saying that here, Robin, there is a network interface card is been created automatically, and this is been attached with a VM. I hope you can able to see here, right? Now, if you go to the VM, you may be able to see the same option details here. If you click in network, saying that there is a network interface card is been automatically created and attached here. So you can able to see, there is a VM has been created here, right? You can able to see there is a VM has been created, unique card has been created. Now, end of this session, you need to understand by default only one virtual network interface card only it's been by default it's been assigned. Now there are some situation yesterday someone has been asked, like in case if I need to do any kind of a load balancing, what is the option is been available in front of you. Now, in case if you want to add multiple network interface card to your VM, there are some situation like you maybe heard about a concept called NAC teaming, right? In the olden days, we were used to for a concept of Ethernet teaming, like in case if you want to do any kind of a traffic management or a load balancing or a redundancy or a availability option on a network or a Ethernet card level. We used to configure like LACP or a 802.3 or a switch dependent or a switch independent mode of NAC teaming. Generally, we used to configure either on a hardware level or in a OS level, it's a NAC teaming, right? In case if you want to configure similar kind of options or a feature inside that, and if you're looking for an additional network interface card, you can able to add it from here. Right now in the same VM, in the VM right now, it's been assigned with only with a one network interface card. And if you're thinking like, no, I need one more additional network interface card, in the top, you may be able to see there are two options been coming. One option is showing like attach a network interface card, and you have an option like a detach a network interface card. Right now, that option is been in a disabled mode because the similar like you are driving a car on the road or on driving. Is it possible to change the uh, car tire? No, right? Similar way on the fly, you will not be able to make a network card addition or a detaching. In case if you want to add additional network card or if you want to remove any network interface card, you need to make sure that the VM you're currently using is in a stop state or in a shutdown state. Otherwise, you will not be in a position to add additional network interface card. Up to 65,000 NAC card you can able to add in case if you are in a customer place and if you are looking badly for a additional network interface card, you can use this one. You can have a, you need to move your VM into a stop mode and you have this option will be enabled. Now, coming to your point on the IP address part, like as Samantha asked, like right now, if you're seeing this NAC card, you may be able to see two numbers right now. It's been displayed on the front of the system, right? One is called a public IP address, and second one is been a private IP address. So from where this IP address is got, this IP address is got from the VNet, which you have been configured. You have already a VNet is in place. From there, this IP address has been assigned, and this got a public IP address also. Now, I hope Samantha, your doubt is got cleared, right? If it's cleared, can you comment it on the chat? Okay, thank you. Any other question from any other members? Clear, thank you. Now, right now you have a VM has been created. Now let's go back to the VM. Now, let's go back to the whiteboard. Now, technically, this is the lab. So far we have been done. We have created a VM. Okay, now you have created a VM. This is your VM. Now this VM is got a private IP address 10.0.0.4, and technically this has been assigned to a central India data center. This has been mapped to resource group, and there is a VNet also, it's been assigned. Now right now we understood there is a network interface card is been assigned to this. So this is the portion right away we are studying, and this card is been assigned with what is IP address? It's been assigned with a IP address of 10.0.0. Now from where this 10.0.0. IP address this got? This got from a VNet, right? This is got this IP address from the VNet pool, because you may be seeing like 10.0.0/16 is the pool of IP address means configured. From the this VNet is got one IP address. Now we are discussing about how restriction can be enabled. So now restriction can be enabled in a subnet level. There is a, because the basically there is a subnet is available. So this restriction or the filtering of the traffic can be done in the subnet level, or this traffic can be enabled in a, or NSG can be enabled in a VNIC level also. Now how this traffic filtering is doing? Typically this has been doing a filtering of the traffic. What do you mean filtering of a traffic? That means if any packet, for example, like I'm a user, I'm trying to connect to this VM using a RDP protocol. RDP protocol, it's been like a port number 3389 is coming. Now this RDP protocol is coming. Whether this packet needs to be allow or deny. Basically, these are the two actions generally it's been performing in a firewall. Whether this packet needs to be allowed or a deny, it's been decided by who? It's been decided by the NSG. So technically speaking, manually you need to configure a security route saying that whether the packet is needs to be allowed or deny, it's been defined in a NSG. So NSG will have a database. There will have a database been allowed. There will be how database has been following. What is the database is using? This database is using for defining the inbound rule for your organization, and this will have a rule available for a outbound rule also. This will have a following a database. Now if you go back to this uh, Azure portal, you may be seeing these options here. If you take any NSG, for example, like if you take NSG, right now you can able to see there's an NSG option you can able to see here. So in case if you have any VM or NSG has been configured, you may be able to see there is an inbound route and there is a outbound rule also it's been available. So you can able to see this NSG or the firewall is been maintaining a list of the rules. How this list is been created? This needs to be created manually as a system administrator. You need to define what is the type of the incoming. Right now you may be seeing an option called inbound rule. Now right now this NSG has been attached into the VM level. VM level where it has been attached, you can able to see there is a rule is been created, and this has been attached to the network interface card of that particular VM. Clear? Now this rule can be attached to the subnet level as well. Okay. In case if you have created a network security group, for example, like I'm just creating another security group, for example, like another firewall rule, if I'm creating instead of finance department, for example, like a test rule. with a lot of rules. Now, once you're creating this one, this basically creating a rule database only. Okay. Now, inside that, you need to define your rules. Just give me a second. Right now, we are trying to create a network security rule. Once the network security rule has been created, now network security rule has been created. You can able to see this is let's refresh. What is your rule? Yeah, you can able to see test rule, right? Once the rule is being created, this you can able to attach either into a network interface card. You can able to see an option called associate. You can attach to a associate with a network interface card available in your network. Right now, this option is being disabled here. The reason it's been like uh, I don't have any free network interface card right now. It's been available because we have created only one network interface card that's already part of another NSG group. Or this can be associated into a subnet level. Right now, we can able to see if you are or created a route and if you want to assign to a particular subnet, you can able to assign. So it's been assigned to the subnet level. So any mission, any virtual mission who is going to be part of that subnet will be assigned with this particular set of role. I hope it's been clear now. So end of this session, you need to understand whenever you're creating a network security group, this needs to be mapped either into the network interface level or this needs to be mapped under the subnet level. So any of this option, like either you need to attach on the subnet level or needs to attach in the network interface level. And you can attach in both the level as well. Okay, there is both the level. This rule needs to be attached. Now I can able to see what you prefer to having NSD setup or a firewall like a checkpoint or a Palo Alto. Basically, Angel, like if you're taking in a cloud kind of a scenario, we are generally following a concept called DAD method. That called it's called defense in depth kind of a method. We need to ensure that all the layers is been protected, because if one layer is being compromised, we don't want to be an impact on an organization. Generally, if you're taking any organization from the firewall or the perimeter level and internally on the NSG level, if there is a compromise is happening at NSG level inside your VM or in Azure, you have a role-based access control. Inside your VM, you have another set of rules also available. So that's the way generally the rules has been created. So it's not that only NSG can protect your network. No, we need to go for a layered security approach in your organization. Any other question from anyone? Are we good? If you're good, can you comment it on the chat? So then we'll see how this network security rule is being created. So Angel always prefer to have a multi-layer approach. It's not, don't think that unless you are configured and you are able to configure it. Okay, so you need to ensure that all the level this is been, yeah. So ensure that I hope if you're good, this concept is been clear to you. If the concept is been clear, I request you to comment it on the chat window. So I got a comment saying that it's been clear to few people. Like, so let's go, but need to be practice. Yes, exactly, Pradeep. We need to have a more practice in it. Then only this concept will be clear to us. Yes. So I'll show you this a practical way how this has been working with a web server. So we'll do one thing. Let's take a 10 minutes break and come and let's have a IAS to be configured in your organization, and let's see how this has been practically this has been working. Now let's take a 10 minutes break, and after that we'll have a demo of this one, how NSG has been configured in your organization. So muting the mic, and we'll be back. How many end rules and real? Lester, I'll show you that. What is the number of the rule and what is the priority of that? I'll take it after break. So attendance link, it's been already pasted. So in case if it is not, let me repaste it. Remember, yeah, there is a attendance link is already posted. In case if it is not received, this is the link. You can use that. So let's take a 10 minutes break, and after that we'll be moving on the demo of this one. Yeah, thank you, team. Let's take a 10 minutes break. Welcome back, everyone. I hope all are back from break. So, if you're back from the break, can you just comment on the chat window so we can start the session? Okay, so Hema has been back. So let's wait update from the rest of the members also. Okay, Stephen also has been back. And before moving to the NSG, I can see there is a couple of questions been posted on the chat window. Let's try to answer that first. Attendance link already it's been Surag has been pasted on this one. Now, yeah, Himali is saying like Himali has been created a free account and in the personal Hotmail, but the interface has been little bit different. What you're using here, some of the features are not there. Himali, it's been basically like the way how you're Himali, if you're there, can you just comment it? Himali, you're back from the break. Now I'm taking a question and answering. Himali, if you're there, can you just comment on the chat window so I can take your questions? Himal, waiting for your response. Or in case if you're not there, once you're back, I'll pick your question. Okay. Now look, let's wait for the Himal response. Other than that, attendance link, how many rules can be configured? Yes, next I'm coming to that. Pradeep is saying like we need to practice more. Yes. All our shows are resource, not NSG alone. We need uh, practice record because daily practice is needed on the Azure side. Otherwise, it's been very tough and it's been very difficult to remember each and every service. So always we need to have a practice. Himal, so if you are available, so you're back, request you to respond. Okay, once Himal is back, we'll pick that question, or else we'll answer that question in the later point. Now, let me take you back to the NSG rule here. Right now, we understood like the NSG has been working based on a set of rules and set of inbound rules and outbound rules. So the point so far is we have discussed, NSG is a kind of a filtering a service. With the help of that, you will be able to configure to and from the Azure resource in the virtual network. So basically, this has been allowing. There is a only two set of action only. It's been supported here. Basically, only the two set of action generally it's been performed. Either you have only two condition only it's been available here. Only the option it's been like either the rule needs to allow or the second rule it's been like a deny. I just shared the screen. I was without sharing a screen. I was discussing. I was just picking a questions. So the so far the point we have been discussed is a kind of a traffic route, and basically the Azure firewall has been configured in the external firewall. That means outside your virtual network, and NSG is acting like an internal firewall inside your virtual network right before your resource. So NSG is a separate resource, and multiple inbound rules or its multiple outbound rules can be configured in your uh, Azure network. So this can allow or this can able to restrict the traffic. Either it's been hitting or it's been leaving for your network, and restriction can be done between a Azure virtual machines, or restriction can be done between a subnet also. So these are the few points so far it's been covered. And the key points we have discussed is like NSGs can be attached with a subnet or a network interface. So basically, this has been controlling the virtual network. So like I have prepared during the break time, I have prepared a note for you, summary for you. I hope this information will be helpful for you. Like I just during a break time, I was making a lecture note for you. So these are the few points so far it's been discussed. So I just prepared a couple of notes for you. So this information will be helpful for you. If you can just save it in your uh, notepad, OneNote, or in a Word file, this information will be helpful for you. This I have prepared during the break time. So this information lecture note will be helpful for you. I hope you can able to see on the chat window. So there is some information I given in a yellow color. That's very important. That's the reason I marked in a yellow color. So that's been easy for you to identify in the future. So that's the reason I've been marked in a yellow color. I hope you are able to copy that summary, right? I hope that information will be helpful for you. So I just made some bullet points. So what are so far what are points we will discuss? So symbol or not, I will pasted on the chat. Now, other than that, any important points? 1 second. Now, other than that, let's try to create a another set of scenario here. Now, let's try to understand a two rules here. Like, let's try to do a lab here. Now, we are in a customer place. Okay, let's try to do a simulated lab. Now, two labs we are trying to do. The first lab, it's been like you are going to create a VM. Okay, the first lab, it's been like you are going to create a VM. The VM name, let's give it's called VM1, and let's create this VM inside a department called uh, finance department. This VM, let's create inside a finance department, and the finance department, let's configure with a VNet 10.0.0.0/16, and let's create a subnet. Is there any possibility to move this? No, I'm not able to move this. This one here. Okay, no problem. I'm creating a subnet 10.0.0/send. Attach a VNIC. Attach this subnet. Clear? Now this VM will get a public IP address also, and inside that you have a, this is your VM. Okay, this is your VM, and this not a VNIC card also. So this is a VNIC card. So this VM, this VNIC card will be assigned with a private IP address. This VNIC card, it's been assigned with a public IP address. So if I'm a user, if I need to access this remote desk to this computer, by default, what is the thumb rule we have been learned? By default, any communication coming to the Azure port is been by default. It's been by default. What is the rule? By default, all incoming connection is been blocked. I hope all are agreeing with this point, right? Any question from anyone? So the rule kind right now we are saying like by default, this rule is been by default. It's been rule. If any communication is coming, whether it's an RDP port or HTTP or HTTPS, by default this is been blocked. This point has been clear to you. Right now we don't have mic permission to everyone, so at least if you can help me to comment it on the chat, I can move on to the practical side of this one. It's been clear to everyone. Implicitly deniable, that may be the right word. So like I don't want to use that word and to make the people confused. That's the reason I told by default it's been blocking. In a layman said, I told it's been by default it's been blocking everyone. So this is the lab right now we are trying to do. This is a user called Robin. Robin want to connect to this VM. Right now this VM is been hosted in the central India data center, and the Robin is been currently sitting in Sweden. Okay, so this is the lab right now we are trying to do. Now let's go back to the whiteboard. Sorry, let's go back to this Azure portal. There's a couple of resource group is already created. I'm just deleting this one, so I don't want you to get confused. So I'm just deleting and recreating. Few people may be having some kind of confusion on the VNet part. So that's the reason I'm just deleting and recreating this one. So it's been easy to follow. We need to wait a minute. So right now we are trying to delete a resource group and trying to do a NSG lab. Let's wait. It's almost in the final stage. Right now the resource group deletion has been over. Now let's create a VM once again. Now I'm creating a VM called VM1. Resource group has been um, no. Let's go directly on the virtual machine side and create it. I've been created a VM1. Resource group is given as been finance. I'm not waiting for that, so to create a separate one. Central India, I've just been selected. I've been creating in Central India. So on I'm just selecting as we know. Username has been TRG admin. Password has been password I'm giving. Okay. Now I'm giving password. Now, right now, this is a very, very important place. You may be noticed here, uh, there is an option we are getting here, right? Select here, Robin. Select what is the inbound rule is been, you need to select it here. See here, because in case if you're not using this option, right? So you will not be in a position to move forward because in case if you want to do any kind of a management, you need to mandatory that this option needs to be enabled. I'm right now, I'm instead of RDP, I selected some other port. Okay. Right now has been selected is HTTP. At least one option needs to be selected here. Now, basically, if I need to take a remote desktop here, what is the protocol generally we are using? Generally, we are using a protocol saying that RDP. Okay. Right now, I haven't selected an option called RDP. Instead of that, I have been selected an option called HTTP. Let's try to understand technically what is happening on the system. Okay. Now, right now, I've been created a virtual machine here. I hope the point is you are understanding, right? Right now, we are trying to create a VM inside work. We are trying to create a VM called VM1 in a central India location. And right now, we told by default incoming ports are it's been blocked. Right now, we are not given any port for RDP. saying that only HTTP protocol only allowed on this system. Now, after creation of a VM, let's try to access through a remote desktop protocol. Let's see what is the error message you are getting, or are we able to access to that remote desktop. This is the lab right now we are trying to do it. Now I repeat, right now the lab currently we are done. We have created a VM. I hope it's been clear to you. We have created a VM. This VM is been attached inside a VNet. Right now we understood by default, as Nestor said, implicitly deny all. Any port is been coming to here. By default, everything is been blocked. But at least one rule we need to configure manually. So I told HTTP is been allowed. Now, if I'm a user, if I need to connect to this server using a remote desktop protocol, RDP protocol, right now in the inbound rule, I told RDP not selected. So, but in a reality, if I'm creating a in a reality, I'm trying to create a multiple. I'm trying to connect using a RDP rule. Angel, I'm coming to that point. Let's do this a practical with a single resource. Then I'll come to a different resource part. Okay. Now let's finish this and I'll come to that point. That's a nice question. Thank you for that. Give me a minute. Let me show you this first. This concept is being clear to everyone at least. Any question from anyone? If you're clear, can you comment it on the chat window? So it's been easy for me also to understand. This concept has been clear, and whatever lab right now we are doing, it's been able to follow. Yes. So Stefan and Nestor is and Angel is been confirmed. I expected the rest of the members also to comment. So because looking for this session to be more interactive, and we want the session to be more. Yes, coming to that point, Pradeep, I'm coming to your point only. Like if there is an RDP is needed, is there any possibility to add it? In case if you want to add, what is the point to be configured? This is the point right now I'm trying to create, Pradeep. So let's wait for the input from members. We have 100 plus members is been joined. Now at least only 4 people only commented. So uh, is it almost 90% of people is not understanding, or it's been understanding? At least one command it's been, if you can post on the command, that will help us me to understand all of us are on the same track. Okay, thank you. Few people has been responding. Thank you. Waiting for the rest of the members also to be active on the forum. So that will make the class is being more interactive. Yeah, thank you, Mayo. Yeah, Samantha, thank you. Yeah, Jerry, thank you. Super. So right, it's got a lot of feedbacks. Thank you for that. Now let's go back to the NSG. Now we are back to the Microsoft Azure portal. Right now there is a VM has been created. Now let's go to the VM. Go to the click on the virtual machine. You may be able to see there is a VM is being created, and what is the public IP address? 50.172.224.22. Now I need this a practical lab for you. All of us in this batch, can you try to access this remote desktop now? Go to remote desktop and try to access this and type the command. What is the message you are getting on your screen? Can you comment it on the chat? There is one exercise for you. Right now I have been pasted my VM details on the chat. Can you comment? Can you try to access this VM from your laptop? Because it's a public IP address, and tell me what is the message you are getting on your screen. This is a lab for you right away. and IP address is been I've been given. Right now I have been given public IP address of my VM. Can you try this remote desktop of this one? A few people may be thinking how to connect it to remote desktop. Nothing to worry. So like you can type mstsc on your run command and you will be getting a remote desktop window, right? Generally you'll be getting a remote desktop connection window, right? This is the window generally you're getting. Can you come type this IP address over there and try to connect it the what is the message you are getting? Can you comment it on the chat? Sandesh is saying Sandesh is getting an error message. Now Sandesh look like some issue with you this one. Let's wait others also. Yes, few people has been commented. There is some error message. Okay. Now yes, cannot connect. Okay. Okay. Let's see the rest of the members also. Cannot connect. Okay. Okay. Let's two more people is got the same message. Okay. Yes. Now the same error. Yes. You tell me what is the reason you are getting this message? The reason it's been like, yes, yes, good, good. Now this has been wonderful exercise. Okay. Now technically, yes, RDP cannot get. You got a similar kind of error message. So technically, what happened on the system right now in your laptop? You type mstsc and you given IP address, right? You given what is the IP address you have been provided. You have been provided 50.72.172.224.222, right? This is the IP address you been provided. Now your packet is been traveled through your internet, through your country, and finally this has been reached here. Where this has been reached, there is no firewall we have configured, so that's been bypassed. It's been clear. Now it's been cleared here and it's been reached here. Once it is reached, this has been reached in the subnet. There is no subnet also, there is no NSG is been configured, but in a VNet level there is a NSG is been configured. There is a firewall is been configured. See here. Now in a VNet level, if you are taking this um, VM, if you go to networking tab, you can able to see there is a NSG has been created here. Right now you can able to see there is a NSG has been created here, attached here, saying that there is a network security group is been created and attached with your network interface card. Right now you are coming with a remote desktop protocol with an IP address 50.x with a port number. What is the port number by default you're using? Port number 3389. Now the moment it's reached, it is reached the network interface card, and what your system is doing, your system is saying like, hey, good morning VM1, this has been Nestor and this has been Pradeep connecting from so and so country. I want to take a RDP. So what your network interface card will tell, hey, good morning boy. So the problem is like, I have a NSG has been configured. Let me check whether this RDP protocol is been allowed. Now are you able to see any RDP has been configured here? Can you comment it on the chat? Right now I'm just seeing like, you may be able to see, is there any RDP protocol is been showing here? No, right? So what your computer will do, what your VM will do, VM will check the priority. It will check what is the priority 300. Hey, priority number 300, tell me what is the protocol it's been allowed. So 300 will tell, sorry boss, this rule is been created for HTTP, not for the RDP. Sorry, you cannot allow it. Okay, no problem. It will go to 301, 302. If whatever rule it's been created, finally it will validate everything and there is no matching rule. So what your system will do, there is a last rule is been by default, it's been configured here, saying that if any of these rule is been not matching, deny it. That's the reason in your computer right away you are getting a message saying that deny, there is no remote desktop is been allowed. Now it's been clear to you. That means 2 points here. Whenever any packet is been coming, always this has been validated against the inbound rule. Now it's been incoming connection is been coming. Uh, if you're trying to if when you are trying to connect it, you can able to add it all the inbound rules. So based on the priority order, Now this NSG priority order, if you're seeing a priority order, right now you may be able to see a couple of orders are by default it's been available, right? Now NSG by default order, there is a 3 by default order is been automatically created. Okay, you don't need to worry. You can able to see 65,000 and 65,001, and this is the 3 inbound rule by default it's been created, and 3 outbound rule also by default it's been created automatically. Now, other than that, if anything to be allowed, now someone is asked, Pradeep is asked, like, is there any possibility to add a remote desktop in the future? Yes, we can able to add it. I'm just giving a scenario here. Right now, I'm just trying to add a inbound rule for the VM1. Right now, where we are adding this rule, we are adding in a NSG level. For example, like I'm adding a rule here. I'm just selecting here, add source port, like I'm saying, because right now I don't know your public IP, private IP address. If already I know a particular IP address, for example, like I'm in a customer place, I need to allow inbound traffic only from a specified source of computer. I can able to type that. I'm saying like I need to allow communication only from 192.168.0.1. I'm doing a layer approach, saying that only this computer only communication to be allowed. Now, right now, all of us are connected in a different place. So I'm saying like any port, if you're connecting, destination, what is the destination? The same. I'm not specifying any additional destination over here. Now I'm saying like any computer, what is the service I'm going to use? RDP is been allowed. Now, when you're configuring any inbound or outbound rule, you can do only 2 actions. What are the 2 actions here? Either you can allow it or you can able to deny it. Now I'm just giving this priority order. Right now you may be able to see a priority order, right? This priority order always it's been configured between 2 numbers. Okay, in case if you're configuring any priority order in your organization, this priority order can be between 100 to 4096. The priority order can be between 100 to 4096. So right now you can able to see I've been configured a priority order here. This number can be only between 100 to 4096. This 400 is a lowest value, you may be knowing. So this will have always highest value. This will have highest value. 4096 have lowest value. Lowest value. Okay. You may be gone similar kind of exercise when you were doing a group policy precedence order in a OU management, a group policy management, right? Similar way, in case if you are configuring multiple rules, we need to have some kind of order, right? It's not that uh, it's not working based on alphabets, or it's not based on the time it's been created. Instead of that, this rule is been always defined, or it's been working based on a priority order. Now, what is the priority order you can able to give it here? The priority order is been always you can give in between 100. 100 is the first number, and the last number which you can able to configure is 4096. Is it automatically created? No. This needs to be, as a admin, we need to create it manually. So we need to create it manually, saying that the highest value has been 100 and the lowest value has been this into the 496. Right now, I'm configuring a value saying that RDP is allowed. What is the action we can able to configure? We have only 2 action, either allow or we can able to deny. Right now, I'm saying option like allow. Allow is saying that if any computer or anyone is been connecting to my VM1, RDP is allowed here. I'm saying that this is a allow inbound rule. This is a RDP connection to batch. Some description I can able to give. So this future, in case if I need to validate that, this will be able to identify. Right now I'm just giving a inbound rule. Okay, let's see this. Now creating a security inbound rule. Now let's wait. Right now you can able to see inbound security rule. If you are checking like inbound rule, there is a additional rule is been configured, right? If you can able to see, there is a inbound rule. It's been automatically created after you're adding, right? You can able to see there is a rule is been created. Now you can able to see 100 is been created, and what is the action is been performing is saying that anyone is been connecting or coming with the RDP protocol, please allow it. Now, yes, now all of us can try connecting to the same IP address a few minutes before you were getting a error message, right? Can you try it now? All of us can try the same IP address, and can you uh, post the screenshot on the chat? And you need to comment what is the reason you are able to connect it now, right? You may be getting a message. Yes, it's a connecting. Hey, Brian is asking what is the password, right? That's mean you want to hack my system, right? So I'll not give my password. So you can try this one, like whoever is like you just give a trg admin and give the password is password at the rate 123 hash. You can able to. This is the password. So this is the password currently it's been used. So if you're trying to do, you may be able to connect it, right? Clear? So you may be able to connect it to this PM now. Yes. So what is the reason we are able to connect it now? The reason behind that, we have added a NSG rule over here, right? So the moment you delete it, you may be able to, you will not be able to use it also. In case if you want to delete it, you have option for deleting also. In case if you want to discard or if you want to delete it, you can able to delete it also here. Oh, I'm saying like a Dini, saying that I'm deleting this. So I've been, yeah, I've been changed. Now we have a questions here. Now you're in a customer place. I'm just giving a scenario. You have multiple rule is been configured. For example, like 100 rule number 100 is been configured for HTTP. Then 101 is been configured for SMTP. Allow this all it's been configured. Now 102 is been configured like RDP has been denied. Is denied. 103 is been RDPs again I have been configured. It's been allow. Now I'm giving a scenario to you, and 104 is been configuring for another protocol DNS. Okay. Now I'm giving a scenario to you. You are in a customer place. Your inbound rule is being configured like this. Can you comment on the chat? Are we able to take a RDP rest stop on this system now? I'm just giving a scenario. You are in a customer place. You have a VM1 is being configured. In the VM1, there is an inbound rule is being configured like this. Can you comment what will be the situation or what will be the outcome of this connection? Now, if you're trying to connect it here, uh, you need to tell me, are we able to access this remote desktop or no? Now, in case if you're saying like no, you need to tell me why. You need to tell me why you're not able to connect it. Exactly. So few people has been commended because of from teaming. Okay. So the reason it's been like, let me take you into whiteboard. So then maybe you'll be able to understand in a better way. Now, same scenario. It's been like you are in a customer place, and I can rub with this whiteboard, right? You want me to discuss anything on this? You're clear with this one? I can rub it, right? I can clear this whiteboard, right? Or let me try it, or let me write it here. No problem. Now you have a rule. It's been like HTTP. Role is been like 104 for HTTPS, 102 for SMDP, 103 for RDP, DNA, 104 it's been like RDP LO, and by default there is a 3 security rule also. Okay. Now, if a user is been coming like this, and they want trying to access a RDP protocol, what will happen? Basically, it will connect to the NSG. NSG is having a connection to the NSG is having a security database has been available, right? It's been having a this kind of database or inbound rule is been configured. First, it will go and check it here. Tell me what is the rule number itself, HTTP. So this rule is been not matching. It's been deleted. Now it will go and check the second rule. This is also not matching. So this will check the third. It's not matching. The fourth one rule is been matching, right? It's saying that deny is been denied. So what the computer will do? Once you received a matching action, it won't go and check the rest of the actions, right? Even though rule number 14 is been configured with allow, your system won't verify the rest of the rules, because once you got a matching rule, it can matching rule can be action, it's been allowed or a denied, whatever. If you received any matching rule, rest all action will be rejected. Your system won't check it. So once it is received, it will do the matching, and once it will verify this one, and it will enter into there. Clear? So rest all action is been rest all action is been null and is not going to verify. Now, if there is no matching rule, for example, like there is a DNS easier and you're not configured anything, in the last there is a rule is been created like a 65,000, right? By default, if any rule is been not matching on top, by default all communication will be by default it's been blocked. You may be notice here, by default there is a three input security rule has been configured in the organization, right? But in the NSG you may be able to see like a 65,000 saying that all communication within a VNet is been allowed. Within a VNet, if you want to communicate each other, this will be allowed each other. Now you have another one, it's been like VM to Azure load balance communication has been by default, it's been allowed. Now you have another rule, it's been like in case if anything is not matching, by default this be going for a deny all. Now if you go to outbound rule, the same thing you can able to see like there is a three outbound rule has been by default it's been configured. One it's been like by default allow the internet connections, and you can able to second rule it's been like by default it's been allowed into the outbound connection to the network. By default all other connections into the external world, it's by default it's been allowed. Now I just got another question here. I just want to clear the ruling is been read from the top to bottom, right? Uh, if there is a rule, Angel, this been working based on the priority. In case if it is 100 to 4096, in that priority order, it will work. Even though if you have configured a multiple rule, it will work based on that. So basically, if you're taking any rule, basically default limit is been 200, and 200 is the basic limit, and maximum per NSG we used to create maximum 1000 rule. That is the maximum generally we are using. Now this is the document you can refer the maximum rule and the limitation. If you want to refer, you can refer this document. Maximum 1000 NSG rule you can able to configure it here. So you have a handy document is been available with me. I just pasted on that. So maximum you are eligible or you can able to create a 1000 rules per NSG. Now, other than that, any other question has been posted related to energy? Let me go through the chat. First, it's been all the communication part. I missed the earlier conversation. I had to attend an urgent discussion. No problem, Anshula. Can we add two NST on the same VM? Yes, you can able to add. That's a nice question. For example, like you have a VM here. Uh, if you want to add another rule here, for example, like right now, this NSG rule is being created in a NSG in the VNIC level. Now you have another rule is been created in a subnet level. For example, like you are creating another network security group, another security rule. For example, like I'm creating another rule. All subnet level, I want to create it. Now, in a subnet level, I want to create some rule. For example, like subnet rule. For example, like finance subnet rule. Okay. So all the VM which has been creating under the subnet needs to follow this. Now I'm creating this. create, attach, and create. Right now, it's been created a rule here. Right, there's a NSG has been created. Now let's go back here. Let's wait a second. It's been up. It's in a populating. It will take a minute. Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that point. I'm coming to that point. Let's create a NSGs here. Okay, I'm coming to that point. Right now, this NSG has been applied. Now, practically, I'll show you that. Okay. Now, okay. Right now, all of us can able to see there is a finance uh, network security group has been created. Okay. Now, let's go back to the virtual machine. In a virtual machine, Manjula was asking like, is there any possibility to configure multiple NSG? And let's try to understand this one. Now, I'm just giving a scenario here. We have a VM. This is the VM, okay? This VM is got a VNIC. This has been configured with a subnet, okay? Now, right now we understood NSG can be applied in the subnet level and it can be able to apply in the VNIC level. Now, in the NSG level, in the VNIC level, this is the VNIC level, okay? In the VNIC level, Manjula is configured a rule saying that RDP is been allowed. Rule number 100, she is allowed. RDP is been allowed. Now, in the subnet level, Manjula is configured rule number 100 saying that RDP is been denied. Now, I am a user trying to take a RDP. Okay, I'm coming with a protocol 3389. I'm trying to take RDP to this VM. Now, this is your question, Manjula, right? If you yes, can you comment it on the chat? This is your scenario you're looking, right? Yes. Now, team, I'm putting this scenario in front of you. In this case, is Manjula is able to create or able to take RDP? Yes or no? It's an exercise to everyone. Let me see what is your opinion about this. Let's see the majority. Okay. So whoever has been posting the right answer, they will be getting a reward. Surag will give a award. Okay. Surag will give chocolate to everyone. Okay. There's only the first person is been posted no. Samantha, you posted no, and everyone is been saying like it no. You need to tell me the reason also. Okay. Let me see how many of them are it's been concrete about this concept. Let me see. No, no, right now, Manipur, we are not configured any VM also. You put some screenshot also. That is an old VM. No, because it's hit the first RDP. Okay, let's necessarily has been given some explanation. Let's see from others also. Subnet deny RDP. Okay, so Cam has been posting that. Okay, let's see. Yes, because subnet is been did. Okay, now we got a couple of answers here. Okay, now let's try to do it in a practical way and understand this one. Okay, now yeah, thank you. I think most of the members has been participated this exercise. So thank you. At least I'm confident that end of this session, you are master in energy. That I understood. Now let's show it in a practical way. So that will keep in your mind. Let's go back to VM. One second. Okay. Now let's go back to the VM. Okay. Now what is your VM? Okay. Now this is your VM. Okay. Now let's take a NSG level. Okay. NSG level. Let's allow a rule. Now let's go to networking. In already we have a allow rule is here, right? I'm just making say allow. Okay. So I have been allowed a rule in the NSG, right? Now this is being clear to you. Right now, what we have done, what is the exercise right now we have done? We have created a inbound rule for a RDP saying that allow RDP connection. Where this is been attached? This has been attached in a VNIC level. Ready? Good. This clear? Right now, this rule creation has been clear. Right now, we have been created a allow do on in a VNIC level. Now go back to the subnet level. Right now, we haven't created attached any NSG on a subnet. Now let's go to the network security group. Here I'm defining a rule saying that sorry, RDP is been not allowed. RDP deny. I given the same priority. RDP is not allowed in this network. I've been created a rule. Okay. So where this has been going to create? This has been going to create in a subnet level. Okay. This security rule is been created. Right now, security rule is been created here, but this rule is been not attached with a subnet, right? How to attach this one? You will have an options here. Right now you can able to see there is a two level you will be able to configure. You can click on the network interface or a subnet level. Now where you're going to attach this rule, you are planning to associate in a subnet level. I'm saying have created a set of rules I need to attach in the VNet and inside a X subnet I will attach. Right now this RDP deny rule we have created and attached here. Right now you can able to see in the NSG level rule is been attached in the subnet level, and you have a NSG rule is been configured in the VNet level. Now all of us can try a RDP connection here, the same public IP address, right? I'm just pasting a public IP address. Now all of us can you try accessing a computer here? Yes. Can you try a remote desktop and tell me what is the message you are getting? Comment it on the chat window. Is an exercise for you. What is the error message you are getting? Are you able to connect it or it's been denied? Is it connecting into right window or it's been a different one? Yeah, you need to disconnect and try. Maybe it's been the cache one. Generally, it won't allow you. Uh, Pinging will be different because pinging has been using a ICMP protocol. So pinging will work because ping is generally using a protocol called ICMP. You maybe heard about a protocol ICMP, right? Basically, it's known as Internet Control Message Protocol. So your ping has been working with ICMP. Ping is not working with RDP. That's a different protocol. So it's not saying that. Are you able to connect it? What is the screen you're right now? It's been getting. Can everyone? It's been. This is a different. This is a different screen. That's not access. That's a different one. Right now, you may be getting a screen like this. It's called the option. Right now, you may be getting like it's been a denied one, right? Basically, you won't get anyone because by default, the rule is being actually technically, if you're speaking, generally you won't get. Maybe cache. I don't know where people have been connecting. Right now, it's been coming here. Uh, since the RDP has been blocked here, that condition is been it's been denied here, right? So this won't go to the next level. Now, if RDP is allowed here, and if you're going inside, again it will validate the rule is been configured in the NSG. The IP address currently it's been for this VM. It's been let me take it. I think the IP address it's been 52 dot or something. IP address is this. This is the IP address you need to connect it. So because I've been connecting the same thing from my desktop also, you can able to see this is the error message I'm getting. See here, you can able to see this is the error message you will get. The reason it's like this will be connected or it's been validating inside a subnet level, and from there itself we got a message saying that sorry boss, in the priority 100 it's been RDP has been denied. If it is allowed, again it will go in from the subnet level. From that layer it will go inside and it will do validation inside in the VNIC level. VNIC level again the validation will happen and it can able to enter it here. So this is the way the NSG is being configured. Now in case if you want to configure any kind of a security inside a ISAS VM. So like the old topic was around how to provide security to a VM. In a case in your organization, if you want to put any kind of a security mechanism to your organization, basically you need to enable a service called NSG. I hope this topic has been clear to you. Now, in case let's recap whatever points so far it's been discussed. So we were discussing about a point called NSG. So we have seen like how to configure a NSG. So this is the points we've been discussed with the help of a network security group. We can able to do a filtering of your inbound or a outbound traffic. And the point we understood like basically this has been applied or it's been configured in the network interface card level. This basically it's been configured in a basic network interface card level. It's been configured. Now um, basically this has been configured based on how the inbound or a outbound rules has been the security rule has been configured, and the rule number has been generally starting from 100 and it's been configured in the 14096. Now when you are trying to create a security rule, these are the few information generally we need to provide. We need to provide the priority and what is the type of the protocol. And in case if you want to provide some discussion, that details you can be able to follow it. Now, in your demo mission, you can be able to configure a network security group. So this can be able to configure it here. Now, let's take a 5 minutes break. After the break, we'll be discussing about another topic called application group, and we'll be moving about another topic called firewall also. So two topics we'll cover now. So what will happen if I allow a protocol and they day in the next? Uh, in that case, for example, like uh, I'm taking the same scenario here. Let me take you into a, now your question is something like this. Now you are trying to say that you have a RDP. Now you're trying to say that you have allowed a rule here and denied a RDP rule here, right? The, yes, Ditarshan, this is your question, right? In the subnet level, you have configured allowed, and in the uh, VNIC level, you mentioned or it's been configured denied. Now, if the RDP packet is been coming in the subnet level, the 100 rule is been matching and allowed. So this packet will go inside. Now it will validate again in the NSG rule, which you have been configured in the VNIC level. But unfortunately, even this is allowed here, but here it's been like a denied, saying that sorry boss, this RDP cannot be allowed here. It will deny. It will deny. The symbol like you are staying in a flat. Okay, this is your flat. This is a flat boundary. Now you have a main security has been available. Okay. Now you have a different towers is been available, like different towers is available inside that your multiple flats. Now you have another security has been setting here. Or okay, now there is a Flipkart or Amazon or the courier person is been came. Is a courier person. Now your main security is been allowed. Now we entered here and it's been reached here. For example, like uh, Saranga has been staying here. Now you want to enter into this flat. So this security person will say, sorry, as per the tower policy, RTP is been not allowed. So this courier person want to go back. Clear? It's not a deny, always deny, not that Pradeep. It's always been based on the priority order 100 to 409 is based on the order. If you're comparing with the Active Directory, there you deny having always highest precedence, but here is not like that. This here it's been based on the priority order you have been configured. Clear? Uh, I hope yes, Ditarshan, your doubt is been cleared now. Thank you. So now let's take a 5 minutes break and come back and let's try to create a firewall and try to understand about the authentication and authorization of the policy of the Azure. Thank you, team. Let's take a 5 minutes break. So thank you, team. I hope you're back. Okay, now nothing, Joshua. So we took a small break, and in between, I was trying to make a lecture note for you. So like for the team, so just seeing, trying to give a some useful document. I was trying to get some document for everyone here. So I was making that. For the reason 2 minutes got delayed. Now I'm giving another scenario. It's called a concept called application security group. I hope you can able to see the screen. I hope you can able to see the screen. Now, in a practical scenario, there are some situations. It's like I hope you maybe because I can see in the secondary screen now it's been coming right now. There is a concept has been available called application security group as well. Now, right now you may be observed like when you're trying to create a rule on the NSG, we used to create either in the VNIC level or in a subnet level. Now, I have a scenario in your organization. Have a set of VM needs to be communicated in a group wise. In a group wise, if someone needs to be communicated. Now, in case that instead of configuring a interface level or in a subnet level, you have an option to communicate in a group wise. Like 1 second, there is you can able to see there is a NSG spin need to be configured in individual level or in a VNIC level or in a subnet level, right? Now, there are some situation like you are in a customer place, you have a database server is been available, and there is a set of application server needs to connect with a database server. Instead of configuring a individual uh, rule or individual uh, group, individual VNIC or a subnet, you can create a pool of you can able to create a security group. I'm just giving a scenario. You are in a customer place. I'm just giving a scenario like uh, we need to go to office. For example, like this is like there is a conference is happening. There is a conference is happening in one town. Um, in one conference is happening. Now there is a security person is been available. Now whoever is been coming for this conference, he has been validating the details. Now, generally, like if the first person is been coming and individually is coming and the security person is been validating. Now, instead of that, you are making a statement here saying that if anyone is been coming from X company are allowed to attend this conference. You have a two scenario. One is been like you're individually adding and validating. Second one, all these employees is been attached to a security group and you are configuring a single NSG role for this application group. Which one will be easy for you? Can you comment it on the chat window? I'm giving a two scenario here. One scenario it's been like individually you are defining a network security rule individually for each VM, either in a VNIC level or in a subnet level. You're configuring individual rule. Second rule, you're saying all these VMs is been you need to configure a NSG rule. You are creating a pool kind of thing. So you are adding all the VMs or all the rules inside the application group. Now you are defining a single rule to this application group. Whoever is been part of that, they will be getting all that rules. Getting the point? Or is it confusing? Saying that once again repeat. Okay, let me take you into the whiteboard. Now we are in a customer place. Okay, let's give a scenario. I hope you can able to see a whiteboard. The drawing has been confused me. Okay, no problem. So sometimes it will happen. So I'm just giving a scenario like you have a couple of database servers. You have a DB server. You have another DB server. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Now you have another application server. You have app one, app two. This is the four servers you have. Now by default, the communication to one computer to another computer, if I need to enable, generally we'll be configuring the NSG in the VNIC level, or this will be configured in the subnet level. Now, individually configuring a NSG and the subnet is going to be a tough and a hectic job. It's a lot of clerical job is being involved. Now, instead of that, I have many users also been connecting. Now, instead of that, what I'm doing, I'll be creating a application group. Now, all this VM, I'll add it here. Now, instead of creating a rule here, I'll be assigning a NSG rule here instead of individually adding a rule into a app one or app two. I'll be creating a rule directly on the application group. So whoever has been part of that, they will be getting the respective rule. The rule can be allow or the rule can be denials. Lawrence and Pradeep or Damien, is it confusing or it's been like you are able or you're on the same page? Members, if you can just comment it on the chat, we can move forward. Yes, it's all good. Okay, thank you. No, it's clear now. Okay, great. So that is the way generally it's been working. Now let's go back to the portal now. I've been given the username and password. Trying to create it here. Now I'll be creating a application rule group here. I'll be going to a option code application group. I'll create a rule here saying that application group, for example, like I'm saying like I'm creating application rule. I'll be creating a pool here. Okay. Right now I'm creating a Azure pass. Right now, we don't have any host pool is been created. That's the reason, because we don't have any host pool is been created, because generally there will be a concept is been available called host pool. Right now, there is no host pool is been created. Now let me create a host pool. Finance host pool name is test. Okay. Let me create, where is this? Finance is East US, right? Yes. Preferred app type is called desktop. This is basically using in a video kind of scenarios. Okay, I need to create a host pool. Give me a second. It will take 3 minutes generally, because we need to create a host pool. Creating, let's wait. Right now, the deployment is being completed. Now, let's go back to the application group. I'm selecting a test group is being created. Right now, you can able to see test application group is being created here. Now, if you go to a virtual machine, now in case if you want to add any rules here, now just give me a second. For example, like if you go to this application rule, application group, you can able to add VMs, right? You have an option to add a additional VMs, and you have able to add additional resources inside to that. Right now, I'm going to create one more here. Selecting finance, post pool have been selected as a test. Now application group name I've been added is been a test. I just select a test app group. Okay, I'm just giving app group review. We are creating a host pool here. Okay, now let's create it. Now if you go back to this application group, now you can able to assign a property, you can able to assign a rule directly to here. For example, like if you go to a virtual machine, for example, like a virtual machine has been created. Not virtual machine, what is virtual machine? Yes, virtual machine. In the NSD properties, if you go here, for example, like if you go to the what is network security group, yes, networking, yes, inbound route, yes, inbound route. Instead of giving any particular source or a particular IP address, you will be able to assign a sources application group rather than giving an individual one. You can define a policy here. Since saying that you don't need to give a individual, you don't need to give a user, you don't need to give a IP address or a source or a destination. For example, like you are in a kind of in a customer, you are in a customer place where you have an application and database servers needs to be communicated. Now you have 40 application servers and you have a 20 database servers. Now instead of giving individual source and destination kind of a rule, and there is a communication to be established, you can able to give a blank rule here. Any VM who has been part of this application security group able to do any kind of a HTTP kind of a communication, or this needs to be able to take communicate using a POP3 or any of the protocol. So you don't need to assign individually. For example, like RDP, I given RDP is the rule. I given the rule number. So like right now I've been given source of application. You can able to select it. Right now we haven't added any details over the, so that's the reason we are getting any message saying that it's not Windows admin sender source port any destination. I'm saying like IP address saying internet. So right now we haven't added any resource over there. That's the reason we are getting a error message. So typically in case you are in a kind of a customer place where you need to have a multiple set of computers needs to be communicate each other, that kind of a situation, this application group will be helpful instead of rather than going and creating a individual user account, individual rule. For example, right now you may be able to see here, you have a two set of group needs to communicate each other. You have a web server and you have a application or SQL database server needs to communicate. Now, instead of giving an individual communication route, you have created a host pool and or application group you have been created and you have been enabled a single route. Whatever protocol you need to communicate, that ASG will be enabled. It can be in a subnet level or it can be configured in a VNIC level. So you need to create only one rule into application rule rather than creating an individual rule. I'm posing here in case if you have any doubt related to the application group. This is generally a kind of a workaround solutions or is a kind of a option generally we are using in a customer place. Any question from anyone? If you're good, can you just comment it on the chat so I can able to move to the next portion that's called uh, firewall. Thank you. Few people has been commented. Two NSG rule rather than a single NSG rule, right? No, it's basically you will be reducing the number of the NSG rule which you are going to create inside your organization. Because I'm just giving a scenario like how a multiple VM is been available. Individually configuring is going to be a tough job, right? So you are reducing this manual effort by grouping this similar VMs or similar actions which you are wherever you want to perform. So that generally it's been done with the help of a application queue. Now let's move to the next portion of this session that's called the firewall. Before moving that, uh, let's have a question as assessment. This is the first question for you. Now you can able to post your answer on the chat window. This is the first question. Exactly the same concept. You're right. So the first question for you for today, it's been like related to a network security group. So if you can post your answer on the chat. So answer for this question is most of the members has been participated in this assessment. Thank you. So you are able to answer it. Okay, that's good. Now the answer for this question is like, yeah, answer is B. Answer is B for this one. So right answer for this is B. Now let's move to the next topic. Yeah. So possible I'll next topic is about the Azure firewall. This is a lengthy topic. I'll do one thing. I'll uh, cover this topic tomorrow. Today I'll cover a different one. That's a short topic I will cover now. So this will be easy for to manage the time. So let me take another simple topic for today. That's called Azure policy. Now let me cover another simple topic because we have only few minutes left. So let me cover a different topic. Firewall I'll cover it tomorrow because we need almost an hour time for discussing that. So we'll cover that topic tomorrow. Now let me try a different. It's called a resource stack. So this is a hybrid scenarios. Like if you are going, we need to remember another option is called resource stack. So this is another topic I'm trying to cover it today. Azure firewall will cover in the tomorrow's morning. Now next topic is about a topic called resource stack, especially when you are working on in a hybrid scenario. Have you heard about a concept called resource stack? Any idea? So at any point of time, have you heard about or came across a option called resource stack? Resource stack is basically using. It's like you maybe notice like whenever you are creating a VM or whenever you are creating any kind of resource, any kind of a one second, one second. Yes. So when we were doing a AZ 800 or a 900 or it's like AZ 800 sessions, uh, we maybe notice like there is a n number of resources we are able to create inside a Microsoft Azure. Now, from a cost management perspective uh, or for managing a resource perspective, now tomorrow your customer or a client is coming and asking like, hey, Lizit, give me the number of the resources been available in the HR department. One option is like using a resource group, you may be able to find out. Now, we got a request or from a client saying that, hey, Lizit, provide me the cost it's been involved for HR department. So this is the one request we received for from a client or a customer. So basically, if you're using a Azure scenario, resource tag is a kind of a service. Basically, resource tag is been basically using like in case if you want to filter a resource based on a tag, or in case if you want to do any kind of a cost management inside your organization, that technically we are doing with the help of a resource tag. I'm just giving a scenario like you are in a customer place, you have configured 1,000 VMs. This 1,000 VM is been part or associated with a different department like HR or a finance or a IT department or a guest users. Now I need to find out how many VMs are currently used by the guest users, or I need to find out what is the OPEX cost or what is the bill is been charged for the last month. Now, if any client or a customer is coming with this kind of a requirement, resource tag will be able to help us to find out this kind of options. So basically, if you are taking any resource tagging has been basically basing for identifying or segregating or separating a resource based on a department or based on a taxonomy. Taxonomy means that basically the department base. For example, like you have a different department is been available in an organization. For example, like you have a HR, or you have a production department, or you have a um, different department like a development, or a different department you have. Now I need to segregate, or at the time of a creation or after creation, if you want to uh, put some kind of a tag that will help us to identify the cost it's been charging, or is easy to identify the resource is been using, in case if I need to put some kind of a policy. For example, like tomorrow I need to put some kind of a policy saying that any user or created under the HR department needs to have a multi-factor authentication. I need to put some kind of a policy, or I need to put some kind of a role-based access control in my organization. So in case if you want to configure this kind of a policy or a requirement, I can able to do with the help of a resource tag. You may be able to see, maybe seen this option at the time of a resource creation, right? The moment when you are trying to create a resource, can be any resource. For example, like if I'm trying to create a VM here, for example, like you try to create a VM here, you may be seen this option has been coming, or it's been seeing in at the time of the creation, right? You may be able to see there's a tag option, right? You can able to create a tag option here. For example, like I'm creating a demo, I'm creating a VM here. For example, like I'm creating like a department, I'm just giving a value like a department, it's called finance. I'm just creating a VM here. So the moment if I created here, I'm just creating a VM in a finance department, like it's called server 2. I'm just nonsense Ubuntu or whatever. I'm just creating. We may get some validation error because I didn't given any key here. Yes, it's been passed. Okay, I just created a VM here. Yes, we got a message as I said. So right now the deployment is in progress. Right now the deployment is been completed here. Now, if you go back here on the virtual machine, you may be able to see there is a server 2 is being created, and there is a tag is being automatically created, right? You can able to see it's been a tag is being created. Now at any point of time, if you want to make any kind of a changes to this one, you will be able to change it also, right? In case if you want to create any VM here, like in case if you want to make any kind of a modification, you can able to do it here. For example, like your edit tag option is here. So in case if you want to do any kind of a modification, that you will be able to do with the help of a tag option here. You can able to make any kind of a changes. Now, in a practical scenario, um, if you want to use this one in a practical scenario, it's been like uh, where this tag option is been generally it's been coming, like in case if I need to find out what is the amount of the money or amount of the cost is been involved for a finance department, in case if you want to calculate this one, generally you can able to do with the help of a cost management center. For example, like if you can just go to your cost management and billing tomorrow, based on some requirements, I need to find out, or my boss is asking, or the leadership or finance team is asking, hey Robin, tell me uh, the amount of the cost is been we are spending for the IT infrastructure for the finance team. So it's been, for me it's been very simple. I need to come to cost management, and I need to go to the cost management tab. there you'll be getting an option called a cost analysis. Right now, there is some subscription issues we have been scope. I'm been selecting 1 second. I'm selecting this is not supported. Okay, this right now this is been not supported for the uh, free account. That's the reason we are getting a error message. Generally, in a customer place, in case if you want to do any cost analysis based on this tagging or a policy, you can go inside the cost analysis tab. Inside a cost management, I hope you may be able to see a option called a cost alerts or a cost analysis tab, right? You may be able to see there is an option is been coming here, right? You can able to see there is an option is been coming. So with the help of that, you will be able to do an analysis here, right? You can able to change the scope. Right now we are using, my id currently having some issues, so I'm using a free account that's been not supported. This feature is been not supported. So in a practical scenario, tomorrow if you want to do any kind of a cost analysis to a particular department or a team, that you can able to do with the help of a resource tag. So technically speaking, resource tag will help us for creating a any kind of separations, or it be able to identification or organizing your resource inside your uh, organization. So this is the way generally the resource tag generally we are using in a real production scenario. Any question from anyone related to uh, tagging part? If you're good, can you comment it on the chat window? Thank you. So it's been easy. So okay, good. So people please been commented. You will be able to. Oh, yeah, thank you. Now, okay, thank you. Now, next topic is about Azure policy. So, thank you. So we'll do one thing. Azure policy. We are on time today. So Azure policy, firewall, and clustering. This will be covered in the tomorrow session, like how to configure availability or how to configure the DR, and can be able will be covering tomorrow. Now, resource tag can be identified for any service of resource or Microsoft. Basically, in a cloud, this option has been available like Azure tagging. The similar kind of option I have seen in Google as well. But basically, in a Microsoft, so the resource tag has been available for all resource. The point you need to remember, when you're configuring a resource tag, it's like you maybe notice here. So resource tag, it's once you're configured by default, it's been not inherited into the sub level groups. Okay, for example, like you have configured a resource tag in a resource group, by default this is not be inherited to the resource inside that. So that's the one point you need to remember. Any other question from anyone? Possibly I'll do one thing. Let me cover this Azure policy and we'll wind up the session. Now, Azure policy is the another topic generally we are using in an organization. For example, like you are this generally considering from a governance perspective. For example, like you have an organization, you have multiple multiple department is been available in your organization. I'm just taking into a whiteboard. Now we are in a customer place. In a customer place, we have a two department is been available. For example, like you have a HR department, you have created a resource group called HR. You have another resource group which been created called finance. you have another resource group is been created. It's called finance. Now we got a requirement. Um, we need to configure some kind of a policy saying that uh, HR department is been not allowed into a particular set of a configuration, or you have like some kind of a scenario like in a HR department, we are allowed to create only one particular set of a standard configuration of VM, saying that only 2 CPU, 4 GB of RAM, 1 TB hard disk, some configuration you want to put. And you need to ensure that finance department in the finance resource group, we are not allowed to create any kind of a VNet. So you want to configure this kind of some additional policy or additional configuration you want to configure it. Now, this all point has been coming from a governance perspective, like in your organization, or one is been like you want to put some governance. Second case is like you want to put some kind of a standards. Now, what is the option is been available for us? Now you have a two scenarios here, right? Now this generally configuring with the help of a concept called policies in your organization. You can able to configure some policies either in a subscription level, or you can able to configure a policies in a resource group level. So whoever is been a part of that resource group, or whenever you're creating a resource group in a particular resource group, the rule will be applied. For example, like I'm configuring some set of policy saying that VNet is been not allowed to create in a finance department. So this generally it's been defined with a set of definitions. For example, like if you go to a Microsoft Azure portal, I'm just going to a Microsoft Azure portal. Either you can able to see an option called policies. I'm selecting instead a Microsoft policy. Now, once you connected this policy, this will give you a beautiful dashboard to you saying that uh, what is the current status of your infrastructure, or whether the systems are complaint or has been a non-complaint. Is there any kind of violations or a governance issue you're facing on it? So you'll be able to see all this kind of a details or a dashboard inside your uh, portal. So one second. For example, like right now, we are inside a Microsoft Azure portal where we can able to see a dashboard is being created, and there you can able to see the number of the VMs it's been complained. Is there any kind of issues we are facing? This kind of option or a dashboard you are able to see. By default, you can able to see a set of policy definition has been already it's been created also. Now you can able to configure another set of a policy here. For example, like you want to configure some kind of a policy in your organization saying that there is a policy you need to configure saying that in finance department we are not allowed to create any virtual network. I'm saying like in the category window, I just there is a search bar easier. I'm saying like no resource. I'm just giving a policy. I think the policy, okay. I'm setting a some kind of a policy over here. Not allowed. I'm setting a policy is called not allowed. I'm saying like not allowed. I'm saying I'm setting a policies here, saying that in the I'm not allowing virtual network to be created inside a particular resource group or in a subscription. This you need to define a scope also saying that there is a policy I'm defining to my organization saying that one particular set of resource I'm not allowing to create inside a particular subscription. For example, like I have a subscription, it's called finance. I'm saying like in a finance department, I'm not going to allow to create a virtual network or any resource. Okay, I'm just giving an example of a virtual network. In case if you want to do any exclusion, that you can able to do exclusion here. In case if you want to do some particular additional scope to be excluded from this, you can able to do any kind of exclusion to be allowed, or any kind of a uh, policy if you want to do some kind of exclusion that you can able to do. Right now I'm not going to do that. I'm saying some parameter here saying that network, virtual network, I'm not going to allow it to create it in a Microsoft finance network NSD group, or I'm not allowing to create a virtual network inside finance department. Now I have implemented, or I have enforced a policy inside here. Now let's try to see this technically what is happening when you are trying to create a policy, right? This is a JSON file which you want to create. In case if you want to create any automation, then you can use it. Right now, what is the policy we have created? We have created a policy saying that in resource group, what is the resource group here? In a resource group of a finance department, we put some kind of a enforcement or some kind of a policy saying that no one is been allowed to create a VNet. For example, like if I'm trying to create a VNet, for example, like I'm trying to create a VNet here in a finance department, for example, like a test VNet, where I'm going to create in a finance department. You may be able to see here at the time of a VNet creation, look like our policies may not taken. Generally, it will take a 30 minutes. Look like this policy has been not applied. Wait a second. Okay. Right now, this whatever policy we have been taken. See here, there is a 30 minutes have been taken. That's the reason policy has been not taken. Otherwise, we would have got a it's a message. Look like how the our lab is got failed. Look like the policy has been not taken. We been edit not allowed any resource group. Okay. Look like optional, it's been connected. Parameter, let me review it. Network. You have selected all network components. You have been selected all the network. Microsoft Management Network. Let me recreate. I think look like the virtual network option was not selected, maybe because of that. Let me apply the policy again. Let me go back to the same VM, or there's maybe not applying the policy right now. Look like the policy has been taking time. Let's wait. We have been connected to the right one only, but the way this has been not taking, maybe the policy has been not applied to the resource group, maybe because it's been taking 30 minutes of effect, maybe because of that. Yes, right now it's been, yes, policy has been applied now. Yes. So right now you can able to see there is a error message we got, right? What is the reason we are getting error message saying that, hey admin, you are not allowed to create any VNet. So this can be able to create for other resources also. It's not virtual network alone. In case if you want to put some kind of a restriction saying that only one particular size only it's been allowed to create. For example, like in a finance department, you are allowed to create only some particular size, then you can able to configure the similar kind of options here. So right now you're getting error saying that, sorry boss, you are not allowed to create this one. So in case if you want to enforce Um, in case if you want to create any kind of in case if you want to configure any kind of options like or in case if you want to configure any kind of enforce any standard or a governance in your organization, this kind of a policy will be helpful. Yes, that's maybe my input. Like generally, 30 minutes is the standard time for applying and any policy if you are creating. So maybe that we just created and tried to create enforce this policy. That's the reason it's got initially this has been allowed and some error happened. Now this has been taken. Now with that note, I'm just pausing the day. Now any question from anyone? In case if you have any question or any question to be answered on the chat, did I miss anything, you can remind me and I'm happy to answer that questions. Yeah, so thank you Nestor, so thank you team, thank you. That's been the motivating us Jelmer, like this all event or the purpose of this event, it's been like enabling our team, like rather than just finishing some PPT. Like at least end of the day, if you're getting in this kind of a motivating comment saying that you learned something, that's been the great appreciation to or the whole team. It's been working on this behind the screen, like so that's we are expecting rather than just finishing and saying that we have been finished the session. We tried maximum case studies. We tried uh, to start from a scratch to ensure that all of us are going on in the same channel. So this is a ongoing event. It's not that this learning or this event is been concluding a day. No, this is a ongoing event and initiative. So only support we need from your side. It's been like Suraj has been shared at Discord link on the chat. Ensure that you're subscribing this one, so that will ensure that every time whatever program we are doing on every week, we'll have maximum seminar. Uh, the maximum people will be joining. Ensure that this link is being circulated among your friends and circles and office circles. So we'll have maximum participants. So yeah, thank you. So Damien, so uh, that's your right, Damien. Like at least the foundation has been clear. You'll be able to go and write any certification. That's your right. Yeah, that is our view. So you'll be getting all the training related or resource related information through the portal. So make sure that you are subscribing this one, so we don't want to miss anyone for this kind of event. So use connect it through this Discord link or a Facebook link. Yeah, so thank you team. It was a nice discussion. A lot of questions has been asked. We tried to answer it a couple of practical scenarios and case studies also. Yeah. So thank you, team, and wish you a great day. And a few people been connected during the office hours, and few people has been connected in the evening hours also because we have a global presence here. So appreciate all the people who's been attended. It's made this event. It's been successful. So thank you, team. Tomorrow we have another topic we are covering. We are covering about clustering and Azure firewall and a couple of availability option we are trying to cover it tomorrow. So thank you, team. So thank you, Surag, for helping to coordinate in the backend. So thank you, Surag and the team, and all the members. So have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. So with that note, we are signing off and